The first thing that died was a moon, torn open like a screaming wound above Earth. And in that moment, I understood we were no longer spectators. We were the reason the universe had come to watch us burn. I stood on the observation ring of Atlas Station, my breath fogging the glass as gravity tremors rippled through the hull. Alarms wailed in every known language, human and otherwise, but no one moved. Above us, beyond the thin shield of vacuum, two gods were tearing reality apart. That was when the battle began. And that was only the beginning. Atlas Station orbited between Earth and Luna, a diplomatic relic built to prove humanity belonged among the stars. I was Dr. Elias Cade, xenohistorian, someone who studied wars long over, civilizations already dust. I was never supposed to witness the one that would decide our future. The combatants weren't ships. They were entities, ancient, vast, alive in ways language couldn't contain. One was the Seraphel Dominion, beings of radiant geometry and absolute order. The other was the Vorkai Ascendancy, living entropy wrapped in obsidian light. Legends whispered about them as myths, cosmic referees who erased species that threatened balance. No one ever said they could bleed, but I watched them tear each other apart. Energy storms flared like supernovas. Gravity folded. Time stuttered. Atlas Station shook as if the universe itself were afraid. I should have been terrified, and I was. But beneath that fear was a growing, terrible realization. They weren't fighting over territory. They were fighting over us. I felt it in my chest before the transmission came through, an alien frequency forcing its way into every screen, every neural implant. A voice spoke without sound, heavy with contempt and awe. Humanity has breached the threshold. No one on the station understood what that meant, but I did, and I wished I didn't. Years earlier, I had buried a report no one wanted to read, a classified study on human anomaly patterns, emotional unpredictability, adaptive violence, the ability to weaponize loss. We didn't evolve like other species. We survived by breaking rules, including the universe's. I told them humanity was dangerous. They called me dramatic. The Seraphel spoke again, their presence like sunlight pressing against my skull. They burned too brightly. They must be corrected. Corrected. That was alien logic for a race. Then the Vorkai responded, their voice like collapsing stars. No, they must be preserved. Humanity is useful. Useful. That word terrified me more. What I saw next changed everything. A Seraphel spear of light plunged through a Vorkai dreadform, ripping a hole in space-time. The shock wave shattered Luna's crust. Billions of tons of rock drifted into orbit, a silent scream. Earth's skies turned blood red as debris rained down like judgment. I thought of my sister, Mara, planetside in New York. I tried to call her. The signal never went through. That was the moment I stopped being a historian and became a witness to extinction. Atlas Station received a direct summons. Me, specifically. The Seraphel demanded a human representative, not a general, not a politician, a storyteller, someone who understood why we remember wars. I was escorted into the convergence chamber, where gravity was optional and lies were impossible. The Seraphel manifested as 1,000 intersecting shapes, blinding and perfect. Across from them, the Vorkai coiled in shadow, their form always almost collapsing. You are the chronicler, the Seraphel said. Explain your species. explain humanity, as if that were possible. I spoke of art painted in blood and hope, of wars fought over ideas, of love so fierce it reshaped history. I spoke of Mara, how she laughed even during blackouts, how she believed tomorrow was negotiable. The Vorkai listened closely, too closely. Your kind weaponizes emotion, they said. Loss becomes fuel. Fear becomes invention. You do not retreat, you transform. The Seraphel pulsed angrily. That is precisely why they must be culled. Then came the twist no one expected. The Vorkai turned to me and said, "We did not come to destroy humanity. We came to recruit it." None of us were prepared for the truth. They showed me records older than stars, galactic extinction cycles, civilizations wiped clean for threatening cosmic equilibrium. Species that discovered forbidden physics were erased without mercy. Humanity was next on the list. But something had gone wrong. "We simulated your future," the Vorkai admitted. "Every projection ends the same way. Humans do not dominate the galaxy. They end the cycle." I felt sick. "And how?" "With sacrifice," they said. "You choose annihilation over conquest. You burn yourselves to save others." The Seraphel recoiled. "That outcome is unacceptable." That was the midpoint of the war, the real reason the moon had died. The Seraphel feared us not for our strength, but for our capacity to end the game entirely. And the Vorkai wanted to use us as the final piece. The battle outside intensified, mirroring the argument within. Atlas Station began to fail. Hull breaches bloomed like wounds. People screamed. I thought again of Mara. Then the Vorkai offered me a choice. "You can stop this," they said. "Humanity can ascend, become guardians like us, or you can refuse and be erased." I laughed. "A broken, human sound. You don't understand us at all." "What do you choose?" the Seraphel demanded. I chose the third option. I triggered the Atlas Protocol, a forbidden experiment buried deep in the station's core. A human-made device designed to collapse higher-dimensional entities into causality. It was unfinished, untested, and powered by one thing: human neural sacrifice. I linked myself to the core. Pain flooded my mind, memories, fears, love, all stripped bare. I poured every ounce of grief, every memory of Mara, into the machine. The Vorkai screamed. The Seraphel shattered. Energy surged, not destructive but binding, rewriting the battlefield. The cosmic titans were dragged into reality's limits, suddenly small, mortal, and in that moment they understood. Humanity didn't need to rule the universe. We just needed to remind it what endings meant. The war ended in silence. Earth survived barely. Luna became a ring of scars. Atlas Station was gone. So was I, at least a version that walked and breathed. My body burned out in the protocol's final surge. But my consciousness lingered, woven into the device, into the new boundary that separated gods from mortals. I watched Earth heal. I watched Mara survive, scarred but alive, staring up at a broken moon and whispering my name. The Seraphel retreated beyond perception. The Vorkai vanished, afraid for the first time. Legends would later speak of the human line. The moment the universe learned fear, not of our weapons, not of our technology, but of our willingness to lose everything to save someone else. And as the stars slowly settled back into place, I realized a truth that would echo through eternity. Humanity isn't feared because we destroy worlds. Humanity is feared because when the choice comes, we're willing to end the universe, so others don't have to.